What's up, Canada? This is Etienne from Signatures, and I'm just checking in on you. How are you? Do you know what day it is today? It is Wednesday, May 20th. Back at you today with a brand new backdrop. If there are any makers out there watching, can you spot your pieces? Let me know in the comments. Want to quickly thank everyone for supporting our little show. This is episode 15. Whether that's tuning in live, sending us comments, questions, watching back episodes on our YouTube channel, no matter how you support us, we really appreciate it. We have some really fun, exciting ideas coming down the pipe, and we appreciate you coming along for the ride. Where's Serge? He might make an appearance soon, he's at bed. He's giving me the stink eye right now. I want to give a big shout out to Rebby's finest, Kat Cadigan, for joining us on the program last week. It was so great hearing that infectious laugh and hear her sounding so positively radiant about her new daughter, Juniper. And I can safely say that motherhood suits her well. All right. I'm very excited to be chatting with today's guest. He is an immensely talented photographer from Edmonton and an immensely talented businessman as well. He's coming on today to talk about a new online art exhibition that's benefiting the Food Banks of Alberta Association. He is Larry Jang from J Squared Studios. Let's bring him on now.
Hi.
Hello, my friend.
Hey, Etienne. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And you, sir?
Good, good. Yeah. It's a lovely morning.
I know. The sun is beaming in my face. It's brilliant. Can you hear and see me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Awesome.
So Larry, I just want to check in on you first and foremost to see how you're doing through all this craziness in the pandemic. How has life been?
It's been pretty crazy, actually. I don't know. The wife and the child have been sort of hunkered down at home. She's been busy making masks, and I'm just trying to stay sane as well. I also work as a pharmacist. I see a lot of people that are affected by the pandemic, and the stories I've heard actually have just been they've really touched me in a lot of ways. And certainly like when we're not in the community talking to like people one to one, you really do hear how like COVID has just really impacted a lot of people's lives. So I guess in some ends it's been a little stressful the last little bit, but I keep myself balanced with family and art and such. So yeah.
That's good. And how long have you had a career as a pharmacist?
Over 20 years, without highly dating myself, but 20 years. Yeah.
Very cool. And how did you guys pass the long weekend that just passed? Did you guys do
What?
anything fun?
Actually, I went for some walks with the daughter and the wife. It was nice. I did work this past weekend, so I did that as well. I went for a really nice bike ride on Sunday morning because we have just a wonderful river via trails, and so I just went for a little bike ride before I went to work. It helps ground me when I do some nature stuff like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Maybe our paths crossed because I went for a nice long bike ride along the river valley as well.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's your favorite trail?
Still discovering them because I've only been here a year. But I basically start at the Walterdale Bridge and head west.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a favorite route of mine too. Actually, there's lots over there. Actually,
For sure. Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of the city for sure. How long have you been in Edmonton, Larry?
I had been in Edmonton for over 20 years actually. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I love the place. I came here to study, and I just never left because I just love the communities, and it's just so much to do here. And it's actually a very vibrant city, and I love how it supports the arts. It's a very good city for arts.
Yeah, and the maker community here. I know
Yeah.
it's big in a lot of places, but it seems very it seems like it's a very passionate community. How have they sort of supported your business over the years?
The Edmontonians have been really, really wonderful, actually. Just getting a chance to meet them in person. And it's always when you're an artist, like it's very nerve-wracking to actually go out and meet people and share your work with people one to one. But the community has been very open and very receptive to me as an artist and my work and my family. It's been wonderful actually. I love doing shows in Edmonton. It's for me, it's like one of the best places to do, actually, because of the community and the support we receive. Yeah.
I'm a little biased, and I tend to agree with that statement. Let's get a bit of background as far as your craft goes, Larry. So you're a photographer by trade.
Yeah.
So how long have you been shooting professionally?
Well, I would say over 11 years, well, 10 to 15 years, basically. Professionally, I'd say as long as we've had J Square Studios, which has been since 2009. So, yeah. So
Cool.
about that. Yeah.
Um, what sort of motivates you to go out and shoot these days? Have you had any more free time to sort of explore the craft a little bit more?
Yeah, before the COVID hit us, I did head out to the mountains a couple times, and I do find just being out there, it really inspires me as well. And actually, when I go biking in the valley, I'm always looking out for shots, photo spots. So like I do get inspired when I'm out in the valley biking and stuff. It's like I'm killing two birds with one stone. Um, but in generally, what inspires me, partly like art has always balanced me, and it's always been like a really nice release for me and a way for me just to help balance my brain. So I think what also helps me get out inspires me is just to help connect with myself and my surroundings and just enjoy the city from a different angle and enjoy the places that I go to in a different angle. Yeah.
Beautiful. Do you have one specific type of photography that you enjoy more than another?
That is a really hard question because I love everything.
Yeah.
Anyone that goes to my Instagram feed will see that. There's not really one particular subject that I really like, but I mean, I guess I do love landscapes.
Mhm.
I actually love shooting grain elevators because I've always like loved them since I was young. It reminds me of where I grew up in Grand Prairie and stuff.
Cool.
So like, prairie scenes, mountain scenes. When I go traveling, I just love shooting doors and windows, bikes, anything that captures like the culture of a place that I go visit. That I love to photograph. Yeah.
Love it. I also noticed that J2 has a portrait page on Instagram.
Yeah, we do
Uh,
actually.
do you what sort of challenges do you sort of face in shooting people? I know I always have a hard time when I'm at shows with my camera, trying to get candid photos, but not appear too creepy at the same time.
Well, what sort of challenges do I have shooting people? Is your question? Yeah. Um, I know for children, do you know what the biggest challenge is?
No.
To get them to stay still
Right.
and to get them to smile and to get all that in a shot. Like it is like it's such a production to photograph kids. People trying to capture their personality in a photograph is some of the biggest challenges. Yeah. Whether it's the catch light in their eyes or their smile or just the way they turn their head, just to try to capture their essence in a photograph. Yeah.
Cool. Do you have a favorite spot to shoot, maybe in town or maybe of all time?
Mm, oh gosh, Etienne, that is a hard question.
Mhm.
I love shooting around our Walterdale Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it actually. It's such a gorgeous bridge, beautiful architecture, cutting edge, and then you see our city, kind of approach you as you cross the bridge and such. In Edmonton, that's probably my favorite spot in Edmonton.
Definitely an iconic landmark for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, so I want to talk a little bit about having a business with your wife, Christina.
Sure.
I really enjoy that whenever I see you at a show, she's always got a booth next to you. So she has a separate business. Can you explain sort of that dynamic, how it works?
Okay, so, okay, well, I'll start from the beginning.
Sure.
Uh, we started the company in 2009, and she actually needed um, like a platform because she teaches piano and violin with the Edmonton Public School Boards. So they actually at that time they contracted out like all their teachers for that program, and so she had to get a business. So she did. She came up with J Square Studios because she also wanted to include her craft, and then I also wanted to include my photography as well. And it was actually her that kind of got me into the craft scene as well, because her and her best friend forever had started doing it, and then they kind of got me into it. I kind of got the bug
Cool.
from.
Yeah, yeah. I know that part.
But no, it's been a really good dynamic. like we kind of have a lot of fun doing it, and I think as couples, it's actually hard. It's actually really important to do something together that you really both love, and it's something that we both really love doing, and we just love being out with people and sharing our work. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So there challenges of running a business with as a husband and wife duo? Because it seems like you guys have it pretty down pat.
Well, if she was beside me, I'd ask her, Christina. She's hiding.
Well,
uh,
let her know that we say hi.
hi. So yeah, no, is there challenges? I think sometimes finding time to work on our craft, as well as like do our other duties like her teach, as well as maybe a pharmacist, and then we have a toddler as well. So maybe time is probably the biggest struggle we have. She is making masks right now, so finding time for her to like make all of her masks and such has been a challenge. So time, I would say, is the biggest struggle.
Yeah, I can see that. And how's the response been from her mask making?
Is she selling quite a few of them? And I actually I have a couple myself, um, and yeah, they've gone really well actually. They fit really, they're comfortable, and she has them in either 2 layer or 3 layer, and she's going to make me a real cool photographer one actually, so I can't wait to get that.
Nice. I will be looking for that on Instagram.
Yeah,
Um, in terms of signature shows, do you remember when you first started doing our shows?
yeah. Um, I'm going to say that was around 13 or 12.
Before
Uh, it was quite a while ago. It was Red Deer, our best
Oh
team.
yeah, yeah,
And that was a great show. It was a lot of fun.
very cool.
Yeah, great community too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I saw you. I think I remember seeing you at an Indie Handmade last fall.
Yeah, that's when I first met you. Yeah.
Yeah, how great is that venue?
That venue is probably my favorite venue. I love the lighting in there, and it's always got such a positive vibe in that venue. And the coffee in that, local coffee shop there is great. Of course, the
Mhm.
sound.
Great food
Yeah.
everywhere you go.
Yeah, and great people. Yeah.
So let's talk about this really exciting art exhibit that you've got going on right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where and how did you first come up with the idea of doing an online art exhibit?
Well, part of it, as I sort of alluded to earlier, was listening to the stories from people that help, like patients, right? Listening to their struggles with COVID, and we get really connected with the people we help in my profession in a very personal manner. So I was really touched by a lot of their stories, and I kind of wanted to. I asked myself, like, what is something that I could do other than my profession, right? That I could help these people, right? And I kind of thought, well, why don't I use my talents to try to help these people, right? And so I said, well, like obviously I can't do a craft show right now because
Mhm.
of COVID. So I'm like, well, let's see if we could do something like online, right? Something like as a special edition print, like online expo, right, or sale per se. Um, and so I kind of thought about the different, like community organizations that I wanted to help, and I wanted to make. I was kind of hoping to make the biggest difference, and I thought, well, a lot of people do use the food banks in Alberta, and it is, it's like a hub and the backbone for those in need, right? So I thought, well, that would be the organization that would be the most beneficial. I felt.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So what are the details of the event and how can people support you right
Well, the event runs until Saturday next week, May 30th. It's on 24/7. There's a link on my Instagram that takes you right to the event. And basically, the details of the event are there are 14 images that I have, and the event's called Alberta Life. So the images that I have are sort of capturing the life of Albertans. Now, it's very difficult to capture the life completely of Albertans because we do
now?
live in a very diverse place, but I did
Oh,
try to capture it as much as possible. So I have 14 prints. They are special edition because I've never printed on that medium before. And I have to say that now that I have printed on this medium, I am completely in love with it. It's so gorgeous. It's a fine art variety paper. And this paper it really accentuates the colors and contrasts and the details of the prints. Like, for example, like, as you probably know, like yellows are really, really hard to print on print because they tend to get over saturated and blown out. But the canola picture that I have printed on it, the details of the field are fantastic, and it looks so
awesome.
good. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to test out a new feature. Well, it might not be new, but it's new to me. I'm going to try to pull up some of the photos from this art exhibit because there are a few that really caught my attention. So let's
Oh,
give this a
okay.
shot.
Sure.
Oh, there we go. Look at this gorgeous shot. Can you give some background on it?
Sure. Actually, that's probably my oldest image in the collection. I shot that in 2007. That's Moraine Lake, and very iconic place, and everybody, loves it. And it's probably one of the mountains and peaks in Alberta that is, most associated with Alberta. So that's Moraine Lake. The water is green because the deposits in the water, and the mountains surrounding it are the Valley of the Ten Peaks, and those are a set of canoes. I took that
Yeah.
really
Did
close.
you arrange those yourself?
Pardon me?
Did you
No,
arrange those canoes yourself?
when I do my photos, I actually make it a rule not to like modify things like in a scene, just because I want to try to capture it, and I make myself move usually. So no, I didn't. I actually didn't touch those canoes actually. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's probably because I shot this close to sunset, and they were kind of closing up for the day. Yeah.
They are
I,
a beautiful shot.
thank you.
Let's take a look at another one here.
Ah,
The quintessential Alberta canola field, is it?
it is.
That is
It's
awesome.
a field. Um, that was taken in July, and those are storm clouds forming over the silos, and that's a gorgeous canola field. And I just love how the sunlight kind of shone on the field. That's the image I'm talking about, where the details in the canola have turned out really, really phenomenal. Actually, if you look really carefully in the background, the clouds are kind of covering the mountains, but the mountains are in the background. I took that south of here. It's like close to Pincher Creek. Summer storm was coming in, and to me, like when I saw them, I'm like, that's so Alberta.
Yeah.
I have this. Yeah.
One of the benefits of like living in a high rise downtown is when those storms roll in, it's like you grab your popcorn and you watch.
Yeah. So do you go out on the deck then just to check out the clouds and stuff?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this one. This is a beautiful cityscape of our hometown.
Yeah.
When was this taken?
I took that September, late September, early October, when the leaves were changing color. I took that on Saskatchewan Drive, a very iconic spot. There's the bridge I love so much. And yeah, you can see our Stantec Tower in the background.
So we talked about your initiative and how people can support you, but aside from the art exhibit, on the day-to-day for J Squared Studios, whether it's the craft side or the photography side, how can people continue to support you right now?
And to support me right now. Continue to follow me on Instagram, engage in my feeds, and if there's something in our store that you like, then definitely like support us by purchasing it. I always appreciate our customers and love them to death. So just continue to do the love that you've always done to all the people watching.
Awesome. And any big plans for the summer?
Well, assuming like we can, be a little more mobile, I'm probably going to head back out to the mountains, do some more biking. Like not anything too crazy because of COVID, but maybe do a few road trips around Alberta.
Yeah.
How about you? What do you?
I'm looking forward to getting back to that mountainous area. I prefer Jasper just because it's a little less touristy. But Banff is equally beautiful. Just being there is very special. So I'm excited to get back to there. We did a camping trip out to BC last summer, so I'm hoping to replicate that in some.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous out there, and exploring more of those river valley trails on my bike sounds great.
And maybe I'll pass across sometime out there.
It's a big city with a small town vibe, so I wouldn't be surprised if we bumped into each other.
For sure.
So the last question I have for you, Larry, what I like to ask all our guests on this show, in life, in art, and in your heart of hearts, Larry, what is your signature?
Dream big. Go for your dreams, and try to show people that little people can do big things.
Awesome.
And you can do that with your art. You can do that in anything you do.
Wonderful. Well, Larry, you are a perfect embodiment of the Edmonton community spirit, and I commend you for this art exhibit that you have going on
Thank you.
I wish you all the best in that and in your business and Christina's business. And I hope to see you again in the fall.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Awesome. Thanks again for joining us, and thanks to everyone for tuning in.
Thanks, Etienne. You take care.
You as well. Bye-bye.